to the session on engineering mechanics. Here we will discuss about the topic centroid. The centroid is the geometric center of a body. It represents the average position of all the points in an area or volume. Important in structural design, balance and stability. So if you have any body, for example, say a rectangle, and you want to find out its centroid, then it is the geometric center of this body. For example, if this is the dimension B and this is the height h of the rectangle, then half of B and half of h is where you are going to place the centroid. We can use G as a symbol, or some people even use C as a symbol for showing centroid. So this is called as a geometric center of the body. It represents the average position of all the points in an area or volume. So if you consider this rectangle as an area, or if you take it in the three-dimension form, it will become the volume. Then the average position of all the points which are considered on this rectangle will be the centroid. So the average is here, that is this point G. This is important in various cases. For example, if you have any structural design, you need to find out its centroid such that you are able to balance the body. The mass of the body is actually balanced and it will provide stability to that structure. Hence, this centroid is useful in structural design. Definition of centroid. Centroid C. This is one of the symbols that is used, is the point where the total area or volume could be concentrated. So whenever we have to say centroid, we say it is the point where the total area or the volume of the body is supposed to be concentrated, and that point is the geometric center of the body, as I showed you for the rectangle. For an area A, x bar is equal to integral x dA upon integration of dA. Now this integration of dA is nothing but the total area that we are talking about, A. Now again, let's take up this rectangle itself as the example, whose width was B and height was h. So suppose you say this point is the geometric origin of the body. This is the point where your origin lies, and this is actually your G, which is a geometric center. So this distance over here will be half of the width that we have, and this distance is nothing but half of h. So there is another way of calculation, that is, when you talk about centroid is actually found when you are going to divide this rectangle into smaller sections. For example, you divide it in this way and then again in this form. So this one particular small part is nothing but dA, which is a very small area. Now this is so infinitesimally small that you can also consider this as a point, which is a very important concept here. Now what you are seeing is actually a very exaggerated diagram of division that I have created over this rectangle. That is, this small rectangle which you see again is something which has width and height, you can say. But theoretically speaking, this is nothing but a point. So what you do over here is, this point of area can be represented with two coordinates x and y, is what you need to understand. So when you can rotate this small area over this distance, it becomes dA into x. And when you integrate all such small areas which are going to rotate about this distance, this is called as area moment of that body. Now of the body means this entire rectangle, because we have taken integration. If you don't take this integration sign, it is only dA into x, then it is only talking about this small section. But suppose if you integrate all these parts, that is add all of them, that is over here. So this is called as area moment. Why moment? Because when you understand the definition of moment, moment stands for, say, force into distance, which is the most common understanding of moment. So the unit will now be, say, Newton meter. But you need to understand this little more in depth, that this is force. Suppose if I replace this term force by area or by volume, then also this remains moment. Just that when you talk about force, this is moment of force. When you talk about area, in case of force, this becomes area moment, as I'm showing you. Same way, if you have volume, this is the moment of the volume of the body. So whatever term you use here instead of force, it becomes moment of that quantity. Moment of force, moment of area, moment of volume. So that is something which you need to understand. The units will also change accordingly. Don't think that the unit will remain the same. Obviously it is going to change, but you need to understand that this moment term is not always a force into distance. It can be area into distance. It could be volume into distance as well. Here what we are doing is we are integrating this area, total area, and then multiplying it with this distance x. So x is the coordinate of this point. And integration of dA, as I told you, is going to be the addition of all these small area, and that is nothing but the total area A. If you want to understand what is A, it is B into H, because it's a rectangle. Rectangle has area calculated by the multiplication of the two sides. So we have B and H. So that makes it to area. Then we'll talk about this y bar. Now what is this x bar, y bar? It is the position of the centroid C. I'm going to use G as the symbol here. Now I have shown you C because there are two symbols that people generally use, either C or G. I would prefer using G. So when I talk about G, this will have coordinates x bar, y bar. Like over here, if you see, this G has coordinate x bar, y bar, and this is what we are trying to calculate. Next, when we talk about this y bar position, it is integration of dA multiplied with the distance y upon integration of dA. So that's how you get the formula for x bar, y bar for this rectangle or any other shape for that matter. Just that the formula of area is going to be different for different shapes. It depends on geometry, not mass. So you can see here it is going to depend on the geometry. Say if you have rectangle, you have circle, you have semicircle. You can have any other shape, and accordingly you will have the centroid of the body. It does not depend on the mass, because if you see a rectangle, this contains some mass m. I can equivalently convert this into a circle of mass m. It is just about these particles which is making up the mass. So I can change this rectangle into a circle. So it is not about the mass, because mass is the same for both. What is important is the geometry, and geometry decides the positioning of G of the body. Then we'll talk about coordinate system and reference axis. Reference axes are required for locating the centroid. Suppose if I talk about this rectangle again, this is, say, the x-axis on which I am placing my rectangle, and this is the y-axis about which I am placing my rectangle. This is the origin. As you understand, xy has an origin 0, 0. So you need these two axes for locating the centroid. And this dimension is nothing but b. This height is nothing but h. So when I take half, this distance becomes b by 2, and this distance or the below distance becomes h by 2. So that gives you this x bar, y bar. So positioning of xy is important. Now suppose instead of placing here, if I place the rectangle like this, and I say that the axis is over here. Can you imagine? This is the rectangle. Your origin is here, 0, 0, and this is x. Suppose for this rectangle, this entire rectangle, if you have to find the centroid, it is now over here, G. And x bar, y bar directly becomes 0, 0. That's where you're placing your centroid. And that is the position of origin. So that is very important, and you need to understand that the axis marking is very important. Similarly, you can mark like this. This is your rectangle. Your y-axis is here. Your x-axis is here. This is x, this is y. So you are now in which quadrant? You are in the third quadrant. So your x is going to be different, y is going to be different. You will have to calculate. And suppose if you mark this as 0, 0. So this distance now becomes b by 2, but in the negative direction. This becomes h by 2, but in the downward direction. So Again, this minus sign is going to indicate the positioning as per 0, 0. Centroid coordinates are measured relative to these axes. As I showed you, with respect to x and y, you have to mark your positioning of G. For symmetry, centroid lies along the axis of symmetry. Suppose like this, your rectangle. Now, if you see about this axis, these two sides are now equal. They're symmetric. For symmetry, centroid lies along the axis of symmetry. For example, if you have a T shape, this T shape is actually symmetric about a central axis over here. So in that case, you can place your one axis over here and the other axis over here. Say x and y. So in this way also you can place it if your body is symmetric, or you can actually place it at any point you want. For example, if I place it here also at this point 0, 0, that is also fine. Or if you place your axis at the center because the body is symmetric, that is also well and fine. Centroid of plane areas, standard shapes, rectangle, as I showed you, it is at the center. Suppose if you talk about the triangle, so you are talking about an isosceles triangle. This base is say B and its height is say H. In this case, your centroid lies somewhere over here at this point G. This is x bar, y bar. X bar will be B by 2. Now again, how did I calculate? I have to first place my y and my x axis. This point I assume as 0, 0. So from here, this distance x is B by 2 and this height over here, y bar, is nothing but h by 3. So that is written over here, 1/3 from base. This is called as the base of triangle. So from here it is at 1/3 height. Then for circle, it is at the center. Suppose if you talk about a circle, this is the diameter of the circle. So again, let's place somewhere and then we can find this G, x bar, y bar. So your x bar will always be d by 2, y bar will always be d by 2. Now again, where do you place it? You place it over here. This is your x-axis, this is your y-axis. So you have to mark this position from here. So this distance is d by 2, this height is also d by 2. For composite shapes, use area weighted average. Now this is a mathematical way of calculating. There is a formula. X bar is summation of ai xi upon ai. Now I stands for number of parts that you have divided into. We are talking about composite shapes. So you may have a shape like this. Say you have a rectangle and then you have a semicircle attached to it. So this is one section, this is two section. So if I have to calculate the centroid of this cumulative body, then the formula for x bar for G will be a1 x1 plus a2 x2 upon a1 plus a2. Similarly, if you have to find the y coordinate, this formula is summation ai yi upon summation ai. So this is nothing but a1 y1 plus a2 y2 upon a1 plus a2. So that's how you can calculate the centroid position, say the G value, and for whom the coordinates are x bar, y bar, you have calculated using this formula. We will see numericals on this, so you will get a clear picture of this entire thing. Centroid of volumes, this is also very important. When I spoke about area, I showed for volume also. So for centroid of the volume V, x bar can be calculated as integration of this entire volume multiplied with distance x upon integration of dv. So which is shown as V here. This is nothing but V. So this is how you can calculate. Example sphere, again center is where the centroid lies. For cone, it is 1/3 height from base. Cylinder, it is at midpoint. Now if you observe carefully here, these shapes, sphere, cone, cylinder, these are made up of basic shapes like circle, triangle, or if you have a cylinder, again it's a circle which has been elongated in this way. So these are different shapes with different areas if you observe. They are having volume. a sphere is completely round. You have a dimension over here. Again here, this is a cone, like your ice cream cone. Here you have a cylinder. This looks like a cylinder. So again you have a third dimension. That's why we speak about volume. When I speak about area, it is multiplication of two parameters. Hence the unit stands as meter square. When I speak about volume, volume is area into another distance d. That is why this is meter square into meter and the unit total is meter cube. So here if you observe, we are speaking about a three-dimensional figure and not a two-dimensional figure. Centroid of composite bodies break into basic parts. Find individual centroids. So this is how you actually find the centroid for composite bodies. What you do is, suppose if you have a composite body like a rectangle and a semicircle attached to it, you will first find the centroid of this rectangle by first assuming that the body is lying like this, x and y. This point is 0, 0. From here, you will have to find the centroid of this body, rectangle 1, G1. Then you calculate for this semicircle, which is the second composite body. And then what you do is you will have to cumulatively or you will have to together find the centroid for this entire structure that you see. So second step is use additive or subtractive area or volume method. Now what do you mean by additive or subtractive? For example, here somebody tells me find the centroid of this entire body. So it is called as additive method because you have to add the centroid of these two and find the answer. But suppose if I have a structure like this and somebody says find the centroid of this position. So this part is something which I need to remove. So if you observe carefully, I'll have to first find the centroid of this rectangle. I have to find the centroid of this semicircle. And I also have to find the centroid of this triangle, which I have to now subtract from the addition of these two, such that I get only this much portion, the shaded portion remaining. So that is called as subtractive area method. So how do you find the formula is x bar is summation ai xi upon summation of ai, like I showed you in the previous slide. Considering signs for removed part. For example, if you have 2 over here, this will be a1 x1 plus a2 x2 upon a1 plus a2. This is used for finding x bar by using this formula. For this kind of a structure, if you observe, x bar will nothing be a1 x1, that is for this entire rectangle, plus a2 x2 for this semicircle minus a3 x3. You will be subtracting this triangle and then you have a1 plus a2 minus a3. So that's how you solve. Methods to determine centroid. There are two methods basically. One is called as analytical method, integration or tabular method. Now what this is actually something to do with the formula I showed you. So that is called as analytical method. And there is something called as experimental method, which people generally do it in the labs, where you balance the cutout models using plumb line for lamina. So say if you have a circle, what you do is you are going to generate few holes over here. Then there will be a wall to which there could be some screw attached. Here you should hang this circle and then you should have a string to which a plumb bob, that is a weight, a heavy weight will be attached. What you do is with the reflection of this line falling over or the shadow falling over this circular section, you have to draw a straight line. Then what you do is you turn this circle and you place it about this hole. You hang it over here. This hole you hang here. And then you again take this plumb bob. And then you are going to have another shadow. So when it cuts through at 2 points, this point is nothing but your centroid of this circle. Now I should give you a video for this some other day. You can go through it and you will understand how it happens. Centroid versus center of gravity. So we will talk about these two parameters, which is very important concept in physics. Centroid is basically for 2D bodies, that is two-dimensional bodies. When we say the body has gone into the third dimension, we generally do not say it is centroid. The term used is called as center of gravity. So this is basically for 3D objects. Definition: centroid is the geometric center of area. A center of gravity is defined as the point where the entire weight acts. If you observe carefully, the word weight has come into picture. So when I have a particular rectangular object over here, and if I have to calculate its CG, we will talk about the weight of this body. Now 2D 3D is actually a vague way of explaining also, because if you see, I was talking about volume in centroid also, and when I go for volume, it is actually three-dimensional. It is not two-dimensional anymore because it is meter cube. So 2D and 3D is actually a vague way of understanding. The main term which associates with center of gravity is this term weight. Parameter depends on geometry only, centroid, and CG actually depends on geometry and mass distribution. So how the mass is distributed over the body is actually your CG. Units for centroid is length and for CG is length. Now since the unit, as you see, is the same, therefore the formulas used for CG and centroid is also the same. So they do not have different formulas as such for these kind of bodies. Example of centroid is the centroid of a triangle, and the center of gravity is CG of irregular solid body. So this is how you differentiate between centroid and center of gravity. But as you go ahead into engineering applications, you will see that the word centroid is completely replaced with CG, and you do not talk about centroid too much. You instead use the word center of gravity at that time, because in engineering applications, or wherever you have structures involved, you have to balance out the mass, and mass is nothing but multiplied into g, it becomes weight. So when you want to balance out the mass or a weight, you definitely have to talk about the center of gravity. So with time, as you go ahead in engineering subjects, the word centroid is actually completely not used, and what we use generally is center of gravity. Applications in engineering. The first is locating neutral axis in beams. So suppose if you talk about the beam which is located in your buildings, you can see that this beam will have some neutral axis over here. This is called as NA. Again, this is a little higher in understanding of engineering subjects like mechanical and structural engineering, where we talk about the strength of these materials. At that time, we teach these kind of things like this is the neutral axis, because if you bend this beam in this way, or if you bend the beam in this way, the same beam, you can either bend it this way, so this will still remain the Na, and this central one will still remain the Na. So they are actually the neutral axis. When you see like this is a form of bending of beam, and this is also a form of bending of beam. So when these two forms are obtained, these fibers, as you can talk about, they go into tension form, and these inner layers are going into compression form. Similarly here, this is going into compression, and the layers below this Na is going into tension. So above Na and below Na, there will be different combination of compression or tension based on the type of bending we have. But this neutral axis is the one which does not undergo any change. That's why it is called as neutral. So when you want to locate the neutral axis in beams, you need to use this concept of centroid. Stability and balance of structures, as I told you, if you have to balance this beam, you need to find out this Na such that your body is stable. Centroid in fluid pressure applications. Same way, again, you have some kind of object. For example, the tanks in your house. You want to find out what is the hydrostatic pressure. Hydrostatic means your liquid is in static form. So tank generally contains water into it. So this water has the capability to apply some force on this surface. So suppose if you want to calculate what is this hydrostatic force, as it is called, you also need to find out at what height this is going to act. So that is important, and that is where you again need this term of centroid or CG. In fact, in these things you don't use the term centroid, it actually turns to CG. Machine and vehicle design. because when you see a car moving on the road, it has to be balanced from both the sides. That's how it is on the road. Or else, if it is overweight on one side, obviously it will turn to that end and it is going to overturn and fall. So when you have to use anything which is in motion, anything which is static, it definitely applies some load, it is going to apply some pressure, there will be some stresses acting on the body. But suppose if you talk about moving bodies, they become even more dangerous because now it has gained momentum. The mass is now in motion. So that is why in such cases, use of centroid is absolutely essential. Finding out the centroid, balancing the entire body around the centroid is very, very important. So these are very crucial examples that you can see where centroid or CG, as you can call, is being used. So what are the summary and takeaways from this session? Centroid is nothing but the geometric center of the body. It depends on shape and geometry, essential in design, analysis and stability of the body. Methods used can be analytical, graphical or experimental. Now when you see the graphical method, it is something of the sort of this plumb bob only. So that's why I have clubbed the graphical and experimental method and I have written it together as an experimental method. So with this, I end the session. I hope you understood what is the concept of centroid. In the next session, we will see the formulas which are used for the standard shapes for calculating their centroid. If you have any doubt, please write to me in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon for latest video updates. See you in the next session. Thank you.